Does your cat have a favorite human? While many cats live with more than one owner, one person in the household usually becomes their special person, the one they love the most. Contrary to popular belief, this preference isn't just about who fills their food bowls. Cats can choose their favorite person based on a range of factors, and they're not always as obvious as you might think. In this video, we'll explore why cats become attached to certain people, how they pick their favorite person, and how you can tell if you're your cat's favorite human. Hopefully you. Before we get started, why not subscribe and join our community of cat lovers for more tips on caring for your feline friends? Do cats really love their humans? At some point, every cat owner has heard someone say, "Your cat doesn't really love you, they just want food and shelter." Not only is this unkind, but it's also untrue. Cats, like all mammals, are capable of forming social bonds. In fact, domestic cats have become quite good at it over time. The ancestors of today's house cats, African wildcats, are still around, but they're much more solitary. They generally only interact when it's time to mate. If you have more than one cat, you'll know that. Although they might be hissy and aloof at first, pet cats can eventually become friends, or at least tolerate each other. Feral cats that don't have humans to care for them often live in colonies made up of female cats and their kittens. Within these colonies, cats help each other by babysitting kittens or bringing food to those who are injured and unable to hunt. They form strong social bonds, especially through matrilineal relationships, mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunts. Although cats haven't been bred as intensely for companionship as dogs, they are definitely capable of forming social connections. How do cats choose their favorite people? Several factors influence how cats choose their favorite humans. Who have they known the longest? Who spends the most time with them? Who feeds them? Who gives them the most affection? But it's not just about winning them over with treats and petting. Cats may also choose based on personality. A quiet, shy cat might prefer the most introverted person in the household, while a playful, adventurous cat might pick someone more outgoing. How can you help your cat trust you more? If you want your cat to trust you more, learn to read their body language. If they're flicking their tail or pulling their ears back, they don't want to be approached. If you barge right up to them or grab them for a cuddle at this time, you won't get a good reaction. It's considerably better to wait until they show signals of wanting to engage, such as chirping, stroking, or purring. It's always better to let them approach you, and you can even reward them with some cupboard love in the form of a treat or two when they come to you for a snuggle. When you observe your cat's behavior, you can discover what they enjoy doing. When you know what hobbies or cat toys your cat enjoys, attempt to share those experiences with them. It's also a good idea to recognize your cat's dislikes and change your own behavior. When your cat is present, try to remain cool and quiet and avoid abrupt loud noises or large movements that may irritate them. You can further increase the relaxing impact by utilizing calming sprays and diffusers, some of which will even aid to strengthen your cat's attachment with you. Finally, create a safe environment for your cat. If your cat retires to this area, you should respect their need for alone time. Remember, when you respect your cat's communication and acknowledge their body language, you demonstrate that you understand and can be trusted. How do I tell who my cat's favorite person is? Attention cats are busy creatures who generally have their own things to be getting on with and might not have time to be at a human's beck and call. Famously, it can be very difficult to get a cat's attention if they don't feel like giving it. So if your cat does give you some of that sweet, sweet attention, then it's a sign that they see you as somebody special. Do they come running to greet you the moment you come home from work? Do they drop whatever they're doing to come cuddle the moment you sit down on the couch? That's a sign that your cat has singled you out as their favorite person. Slow blinks. Cat kisses. You might notice your kitty staring at you intently from across the room. If you look over to see what they're doing and catch their eye, then they might respond by slowly lowering their lids. This deceptively subtle gesture is what's known as a slow blink, also sometimes called a cat kiss or an I love you blink. This is how cats show intense love and affection, essentially the feline equivalent of blowing you a kiss. If your cat does this with you more than anyone else, then you can be sure that you've gained the top spot in their heart. Sleeping near you. Although you probably think of your kitty as a predator, especially if you keep finding dead mice and birds on your carpets, the wild ancestors of our domestic cats were actually prey to larger animals as often as they were predators to smaller ones. This is the real reason behind the famously skittish nature of our feline friends. Your kitty jumps a mile when you shut a door too loudly because thousands of years ago, that loud bang could have been the roar of a hungry lion. Cats instinctively feel that they have to be alert at all times, which means that the most dangerous time, according to them, is when they're sleeping. If your cat chooses to sleep out in the open rather than following their natural instincts and finding somewhere to hide, then that's a sign that they consider you someone who will protect them from harm. If they choose to regularly sleep in your bed, then you can assume that you are somebody very, very special to them. Grooming. You being licked by a cat doesn't feel good. There, we said it. Their tongues are like sandpaper, covered in thousands of tiny spines called papillae, which act like a hairbrush against a cat's fur, and like an emery board against delicate human skin. An emery board that leaves you faintly damp with saliva. Yuck. But before you push your furry friend away, think about it from their perspective. Cats groom each other to build social bonds and show love and affection. If your cat licks you, then that's their way of trying to let you know that they consider you a valued member of their social group and someone who is very dear to them. Allowing you to care for them, cats don't suffer fools gladly, as any unfortunate soul who's tried to give one a bath or make them take a pill can testify, assuming they survived the experience, that is. If a cat doesn't like something that you're doing, they'll let you know about it, often with claws. But if you're their favorite person, you might be granted privileges that other humans don't get. If you're the only person who can brush your cat, clip their nails, or put them in their cat carrier without ending up more scratched up than a skipping CD, that's a sign that your cat is giving you the VIP treatment, because to them, you are a very important person. Jealousy. Not all signs of favoritism are positive. If a new person or pet enters the household and your cat starts acting out by hissing, biting, or becoming overly clingy, it could be because they feel threatened. They may fear losing their favorite person, aka you. Following you around. Do you have a furry little shadow that follows you everywhere? Cats often show love by being curious about your activities. Whether they're lying on your keyboard while you work, sitting on your freshly laundered clothes, or even sneaking into the car as you try to leave, it's their way of showing they care about you, even if they don't fully understand what you're doing. By the way, did you know that there are some crucial differences between male and female cats? Check out this video to find out what they are, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and join our feline-loving community.